Why did I join the gang? Many reasons, man. Some kids join gangs for a sense of connection or to define or try to define who they are. Others pretty much peer pressure. Some of them to protect themselves. Others have family members that have been in gangs their whole life, so it's all they know. They're pretty much born into it. Let's get into this video. Hey, what's up? My name's JC, Wrong and Strong. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell, thumbs up, thumbs down, you know what it is. If you're part of my crew, mi pandilla, mi familia, mi raza, Chicago, súbanse la Suburban, let's take this ride. Chicago has more gang members than any city in the US. It has been a crazy past 10 years. There's been so many gangs, so many members joining. It is out of control, pretty much. A lot of kids join gangs for many reasons. Chicago, I think one of the biggest ones is that if you live in a neighborhood and they start messing with you from another neighborhood, you end up, getting into a gang because of peer pressure or safety. There's many reasons. My biggest thing is don't ever judge a kid that's in a gang, because you never know what he's been through or what he's going through or why he had to do what he had to do. Remember, kids, their brain is not fully developed until they're in their 20s. And a lot of decisions that we made while we were kids were probably not very thought out. There's many reasons why a kid could be joining a gang, why he's part of a gang, why he's brainwashed, why all these things. I'm gonna tell you my story, and I could only speak for myself, but I've seen many walks of life of many kids that I've joined, from the kid that actually has both of his parents there, that lives in the suburbs and everything, and is just a knucklehead that wants to get into trouble. They're screaming for something. Every kid is screaming for something, because remember, I hate to make the comparison, but it's like a dog, man. You beat him and you beat him and he still wants to give you love. He still wants to be there. He wants to still be loyal. Those are kids. So the next time you judge a kid, why don't you sit down and ask him what he's going through. Alright, my name is JC, not just playing. I said I was gonna be serious in this video, but it's what keeps me going, man. So me, if you followed my story as a kid, my whole self-esteem, my whole childhood was pretty much taken away from me. When all that stuff happened to me as a kid. Not just being molested, but the whole, the torture and everything that happened pretty much took away my whole self-esteem. I was scared half of the time. I was afraid. So that just added on to all the steps that later on. Then later on, my dad was never home, never present. So I got to ran the streets like an animal. No rules, no nothing. So I was always out. Then when he got into a relationship with one of my stepmoms that had rules, he started to kick me out. So I'm on the streets, nowhere to live, nowhere to go, nowhere to eat. What's the next thing you do? You join people that are on the streets just like you. So gangs are always recruiting kids like that have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. Because you're going to be the first one to go, pull a burn. You're going to be the first one to hold a gun. You're going to be the first one to sell a drug. You're going to be the first one to volunteer for everything because you want to make a name for yourself. You want to make money. You want to prove yourself. You want to do all these things so you could feel safe, so you could have somewhere to sleep, so you could have something to eat. And that was my whole childhood. My whole childhood, I was trying to prove and show and have something that I never had as a child. So it's what got me into all the trouble, but it made me a prime candidate for drug runs, prime candidate for shootings, prime candidate for all those things because I was constantly on the streets because I didn't have nowhere to go. Nowadays, it's a little bit different with social media and all this stuff that's going on, the music. It's a little bit different from my time, but a lot of the same rules still apply. A lot of these kids are trying to fit in because they see it on social media, they see it on Instagram, they see it on these movies, these TV shows, and they think that it's cool, they think it's gangster, they think all these things about it. But after losing so many years in prison, I had to really sit down and think, was it really worth it? Especially for my two oldest daughters that, when I went in, they were newborns, and when I came out, they were grown-ass women in their 20s. So, and all for what? For what? I came in broke, I came out broke, I came in broken, I came out broken. Like, there was not a purpose for it. Nothing changed me, nothing happened. It wasn't until I put my foot down and actually said, that's it. I don't want to be part of something that just takes from me and then I help take from others. And that's when I started educating myself. That's when I started going to school. That's when I started to better myself. And I started to do things for me to get better. Because for a long time, all I did was blame it on my childhood. Blame it on what he did to me. Blame it on what my dad did to me. Blame it on all this stuff. And I mean, let's be honest. I was playing the victim role the whole time. Once I got over that and started working on my stuff, because I get messages all the time about like PTSD, I get messages of addiction, I get messages of all the things, but you can't sit there and complain about it if you're not really doing nothing about it. Meetings, therapy, all these things are there for a reason. This is why the first thing I get up and I listen to like self-motivating stuff, because I don't want, my mind's already poisoned as it is. Like, I don't need to poison it more with, as soon as I wake up putting like all this kill, drugs in my head, all this stuff. Like, I don't need to poison it more than it already is. It's got enough poison in there to last me a lifetime. So I'm doing the reverse. Going to meetings, going to service, going to all the things to unpoison my mind for me to get better. And it does work. It does work. My PTSD is at a really good controllable level now, where I don't lose my shit and punch holes in the wall. I am getting better and better. But my message is this. There's a lot of kids out there lost. There's a lot of kids joining gangs because of all these reasons. Don't sit there and judge them. Don't sit there and say that was their choice. They made their bed, lay in there. None of those things. You don't know what that kid went through. You don't know what he's been through. You don't know what he's going through. Give him a hand. Ask him. Help. Don't judge. My name's JC. I am Ron Strong. Don't judge nobody. Stay in your lane. Live savage. And remember, if you live easy, life could be pretty fucking hard. If you live hard, life could be pretty fucking easy. Put in the work. Do your thing. Get better.